Good morning, Quinnites. Good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. Yes, it's okay to cheer. Miss Neal can't be the only excited one, right? You have made it to the first Friday of your fall semester. I'm trying to do this so that I'm not making all this background noise. Before we officially get started with our chapel program, there's two things that I want you all to do. One, I would like you to stand up. Yes, you. If you hear me, you see me talking, stand up. Now, if you did not speak to the person next to you this morning, we're going to forgive you for that. But turn to your left and right. Say hello, say good morning. Okay? Don't give them the ouch face. It's okay to smile. Now, this is what I also want you to do. We have some new faces in the room. We have students who literally have traveled across the world to get here to Paul Quinn, and they were not here for Summer Bridge. We have new staff, new instructors who might be here with us in chapel this morning. So I actually want you to step out of your seat, okay? Don't get wild now. But I just want you to go and introduce yourself to someone that you have never ever seen before. No, this is risky. It's risky. Don't talk to your roommate. Go talk to someone that you don't know. You should note that chapel is not only a graduation requirement. Students, this is something that you have to do. There are a variety of ways to meet the requirement, but if you are a resident of Crow or the Sub or Ross or Windhaven, you are expected to attend chapel in person. Once corporate work program schedules are up and running, and if you do work, I said if you need to work on Fridays during the chapel hour, there is an online option for that. Our students who are 100% online, who could be anywhere, could be in California, Florida, Austin, Texas, El Paso, they always watch chapel online. But those of you who I see here sitting in front of me, it's in person. That's your way of meeting this requirement, okay? So chapel is not only our way of ensuring that we address your Christian development as a Christian leader, we also use chapel to make announcements, make sure that we are all on the same page and provide reminders, but we also are going to push in some student development and leadership topics. And so don't be surprised if we are talking about time management, or if we are talking about communication amongst generations, or communication with family members, okay? We're going to use this space and try to be as effective as possible. But primarily, chapel is about your Christian development, okay? So since we are in a church service, everybody should say, Amen. Amen. There we go. A few reminders before I ask Ms. Neal to come and give us our opening prayer. Dress code does apply for chapel. Majority of you are in dress code, and we thank you for that. We appreciate it. Jeans are worn with Paul Quinn paraphernalia after chapel, not to chapel, okay? The other reminder is when you do wear jeans, they cannot be ripped and wholly and shredded and all of that. And I mean holes with holes. Holes. Got that? So no ripped jeans, period. But when you do wear jeans, it is allowable with your Paul Quinn gear after chapel, okay? Final reminder, this is institutional reminder, when you come to the front gate, especially some of our late night travelers coming into the front gate on campus, it does not matter how many times you have gone in and out during the day. You need to have your Paul Quinn ID handy, and you need to be prepared to stop. The security guards are required to stop every vehicle that comes through the gate, especially after hours. And so don't question them. Don't tell them that you live here. Don't tell them that you just went out. Stop, show your ID. If you do have guests in the car, be prepared for them to show their ID as well and sign in. But since we don't have any guests allowed in housing right now, I'm not sure we have a guest in the vehicle. But please do remember that you do have to stop and speak with the guards coming in and coming into campus, okay? Ms. Neal will come up and do our opening prayer. Good morning. Let us bow our head in a moment of honor to God. Dear Father God, we come before you today with humble hearts. We come before you in need of prayer. We come before you to ask that your mercy be with us, to guide us, and to ease our pain, and to ease our sorrows. We ask that your grace go before us and direct our feet, direct our paths. We ask that your wisdom show us how to be humble and kind and merciful and intentional. Lord, we do need you. We thank you for being a part of our lives. We ask that you bless our family members, our friends, our institution here, and all of our loved ones, to protect us in our journeys, in-house, outside, on the road, wherever we may go. Keep that joy in our heart. Keep our heads lifted high. Keep us grounded and assured that your mercy and your grace will deliver us to where your will lead us. And we pray this prayer in the name of Yeshua, the Son on high. Amen and amen. Amen. Thank you, Ms. Snell. And I neglected to ask you all to stand, but please remember to stand for prayer. And I am now going to ask you stand for the scripture, and Mr. Brinson's coming forward.
Good morning. The Quinnite scripture is Isaiah 58, verses 9 through 12. Then shalt thou call, and the Lord shall answer. Thou shalt cry, and he shall say, Here I am. If thou take away from the midst of thee the yoke, the putting forth the finger, and speaking vanity, and if thou draw out thy soul to the hungry, and satisfy the afflicted soul, then shall thy light rise in obscurity, and thy darkness be as noonday. And the Lord shall guide thee continually, and satisfy thy soul in drought, and make fat thy bones. And thou shalt be like a watered garden, and like a spring of water, whose waters fail not. And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places. Thou shalt rise up the foundations of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of paths to dwell in. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Brinson. We now have a series of announcements that we're going to share with you. Ms. Lola Esmew is coming forward. These announcements are student announcements. And so, since I know you have a phone in your hand close by, you might want to put some of these on your calendar as you hear them. But these are announcements for you, some of which you need to act on today. Okay?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I have had the pleasure of meeting several of you, but several of you, this is my first time seeing you. I was out all summer, so if you were here summer break, you probably didn't see me. My name is Lola Esmew, and I serve as Chief of Staff here at Hoffman College. And more than likely, you're going to see me in the admissions office. We probably helped recruit you, all of that good stuff. As Dr. Grant said, you'll want to make notes of the things that you're interested in participating in, but this is your reminder that when you are in chapel, please turn your phones to silent, just out of respect for the space. So bear with me, I have like 10 pages of announcements and fun stuff for you guys. But we first want to start with a shout out from Professor Mayo. Shout out to the people that participated in the batch plant meeting last night. A special shout out, there were 5 students that participated. If you were one of the students that participated last night, please stand. A round of applause for them. Thank you to Dean Thompson and Dean West for coordinating transportation, helping with speaking, all of that great stuff. So thank you, everyone. If you are an HCAST officer, so for those of you that don't know what HCAST is, it's the Honda All-Star Challenge Club. So there will be a meeting for people that are already involved as officers. It's going to be at 1:30 today in the Carrington Lab. If you are not currently involved and you have questions about it, feel free to pop in at the beginning and just kind of check in with the officers and leadership and indicate that you're interested in this, but more to come on this. A special announcement from Mr. Brinson. The student health insurance waiver period is open, so if you or your parents have been asking about like, hey, how do we get your health insurance waived? You're under our coverage. That period is open. Check your Hoffman emails for details. The waiver period ends August 30th, which is census day. All right. If you have already been hired as an intern, please look for an email from Dean Thompson. She needs you to confirm your start date, your transportation, and your housing needs. So if you already have a job, check in with Dean Thompson so you can confirm all of your details. If you have not yet been hired, look for an email that's going to list all of the currently open positions. There will be a link in there for you to schedule brief individual meetings over the next couple of days, okay? So whether you have a job or you don't have a job, you have a next step, okay? If you have any questions, Dean Thompson will be in Carrington from 11 to 12, so immediately following chapel to answer any questions, or you can always email Court Work Program PQs at PQC with your questions. Can anyone here sing? Does anyone want to be America's Next Top? JD, there you go, boom. Wednesday, so we have, this is courtesy of Ms. Belton. We have Wellness Wednesday workshops, combined forces between the library and mental health services. They're going to be working on wrapped tassel wall hangings, and that's going to be August 30th from 12:30 to 3:30 p.m. If you have any questions, please reach out to Ms. Belton. You can also RSVP with Ms. Belton, and you want to do that by Monday, August 28th. Wellness Wednesdays continue is just a reminder that it actually happens every Wednesday from 12:30 to 3:30 in the library. So there's always new activities to help you de-stress, get your creativity flowing, all of that good stuff. If any of you like nature, or you haven't been camping before, we do have a camping trip coming up. It's our Fall 23 camping trip. It's going to give you a chance to be adventurous, be outdoors, get zen, all of that good stuff. If you are interested, there is going to be an informational meeting with Ms. Belton in Carrington, Friday, September 8th at 12:30. So in the Carrington, 12:30, September 8th. The trip itself will be over the course of a weekend at Cedar Hill State Park, October 6th through Sunday, October 8th. So again, contact Ms. Belton for any questions. All right, y'all still with me? Yeah, I'm gonna need a cup of water after this. All right, women's volleyball, their season has officially, it's kicked off. We're gonna support them. They're going to be hosting a tri-match with Langston University and Riley College. There are two other HBCUs nearby. On Tuesday, August 22nd in the old gym, the Tigers Den. Game times are at 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. So if you're on campus and you have the time, please go support your Lady Tigers and let's show up and show out for our team, okay? At 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. So 2 games. So definitely support our girls. They've been working hard all summer getting ready. If you are interested in student government, SGA applications are due August 20th. So if you want to participate, make sure you get that application in. And if you have questions about the application or where to get it in, feel free to ask Lamontra Edwards or Dean Turner. Tonight, there is a Paul Quinn block party in front of Crow at 7 p.m. So all you gotta do is step outside if you are on campus. We'd love to see you there, have some fun. Remember, these activities are what y'all make them. The staff do not make those activities, you do. So show up and make them fun. All right, we did on Sunday. Okay, women's basketball. If you are interested in women's basketball, the team is holding tryouts next Saturday, August 26th at 10 a.m. sharp. Do not be late. Coach Smith does not play. If you would like to try out, please email Coach Smith at csmith@pqc.edu to register. Registration will close Wednesday, August 23rd. If you have any more questions about it, all the details about tryouts can be found on the women's basketball Instagram page, which is @PaulQuinn_WBB. And if you don't follow that account, just go ahead and follow them now. All right, and I think we're down to the last one. Woo, we saved the best one for last. Have any of you ever been interested in being royalty? Yep, look, a lot of hands. Okay, that's gonna make this week's real happy. So we have a golden opportunity for you guys. If you've ever dreamt of wearing a crown, representing your class, and being the face of Paul Quinn College, your dream could become a reality. We're excited to announce that the race for the prestigious titles of Miss Paul Quinn College and the Homecoming Court is on. So save the date. There will be an informative session on August 31st at 7 p.m. in the SUB Annex. So I'll say that again because I see y'all writing. August 31st, 7 p.m. SUB Annex. It's an informational session. If you are interested in being part of the Homecoming Court, you have to go to that, okay? Your point person for all things Crown and Homecoming Court will be Mrs. Weeks. Also, questions about what it entails. The role is a lot more than just the crowns. You are a representative of the institution, so you are going to need to be a leader. You're going to need to be able to represent as well, and you're going to need to want a desire to make a long-lasting impact for our Paul Quinn community, and that's outside of these walls as well. So you will be a representative of Paul Quinn. Again, speak with Mrs. Weeks in the library if you have any questions. You can also connect with Ms. Neal in the SSS office and Ms. Wilson in the TRIO office. That is everything for you all. If you miss anything that I said, feel free to catch me after chapel and I can make sure you have all of the information. You all, before I leave, you all look great and you guys were on time. So I just want to give a yes. I was so proud and impressed. You guys were sharp and it just goes to show that Summer Bridge works. So congratulations to you all, and I will see you around.
Thank you. So that was a lot of announcements. Please take note and get involved, okay? It's been a while since you all have heard directly from your instructor. I know some of you are still working through some of your, reactions to your Summer Bridge class, but President Sorrell is going to be our speaker this morning. Before he comes forward, I'm going to ask Quinn Carlin Knight to come forward and give us a musical selection.
When your world seems cold and your friends are few, oh, there's someone who cares for you. When those tears are in your eyes and your heart just bleeds inside, oh, there's someone who cares for you. Oh, someone who cares. Oh, there's someone to share all your burden like no other can do. Oh, he'll come down from the sky and wipe tears from your eyes. You're his child, and he cares for you. Oh, someone who cares. There is someone to share all your burden like no other can do.
be here with you and to see you. It is just good to be together. It is amazing how much we miss you when you're gone. Maybe we miss everybody but Monica, all right? Maybe that's what it was, all right? But we truly, truly do miss you when you are gone. I want to start out our time together with just a couple of brief announcements. As you know, we have had a change in coaches with our soccer program and with our track program. Our soccer coach met the team this morning and you all had your first practice. So we want to applaud all the players who stuck it out through this week. Because it's a little unsettling on Saturday before classes start to find out that your coach has made some other decisions. That's fine, but we appreciate those of you who stayed with the process, trusted it, and now we're in a very good place for the remainder of the season. Also, if you are on our track team, or if you aspire to be on our track team, we are interviewing the leading candidate for the head coaching job today. I am meeting with him at 12:30, and I guess you guys have him at 1? Is it 1? You all have him at 1. Okay, you can meet in the boardroom and get a chance to interview and ask questions and all of that. So we are moving expeditiously to get those two situations settled because we think everyone deserves to have as little bit of stress in their lives as possible. And it is stressful to be a college athlete and not to have a coach. So we are thrilled to be able to deal with that. But my real job this morning is to welcome you to the first chapel of the year. And chapel is a special experience here because it's a chance for us to come together. We have students in many different locations all across the city. Some are in Plano, some are at 555. Others are going to be out in Las Colinas or Irving. So we are an institution that has a large footprint throughout the Metroplex. But this gives us a chance to spend time together, to see each other, and to just fellowship. And it's why it's very, very important to us. So it is wonderful to be able to experience this with you for the first chapel of this year. And also to join my fellow cabinet members in doing so. I want to welcome my summer bridge class. For everyone that was in summer bridge this summer, please stand up. All right. It's good to see you all. Welcome. You all may sit down. Will everyone that was in my summer bridge class last summer please stand up? All right. I love summer bridge. Thank you, Angel. I really appreciate that. It is a unique experience, one where it gives us an opportunity to get to know you. And to get to know you outside of our traditional roles at the college. I get to know you as a professor, and it is wonderful, quite frankly, to get to see you every day, or 4 days a week, 2 hours a day, almost 2 hours a day, for a 6-week period. And in that period, it allows me to understand where your special gifts are, where the areas that we need to do a little nudging happen to be, but at all times to bond us, right? To bond us. And I appreciate the opportunity to get to know you in that way. So I am thrilled to see all of you. Now, my goal isn't to be here very long. The Quinnite Bible passage has already been read, and it serves as the foundation for what we're going to talk about this morning. But I do want to highlight one specific part of it because it is the jumping off point for my remarks to you this morning. and that is verse 12. Those from among you shall build the old waste places. You shall raise up the foundations of many generations, and you shall be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of streets to dwell in. So Quinnites, for the brief moment that we're going to be here together, I'd like to speak to you about living up to your destinies as the repairers of the breach. Revolutions don't start from above. In the history of man, revolutions have never started from the ruling class. Kings don't overthrow themselves. The rich don't pick fights with the rich and want to take away their riches. Revolutions start from the places where the unhappy, the disaffected, the disadvantaged, and the exploited look around, shake their heads, and say no more. We are tired of living in this manner. We come from the breaches. We come from the places that others have discounted, where other people have looked down upon. We are what the breaches produce. Now I say that as we because my parents came from the breach. My father grew up in a single-parent home in New Orleans. His father didn't live with his mother. Truthfully, from the way I understand it, his father didn't spend very much time with my dad. So my father was left to have to figure things out by himself. Oftentimes that meant that he spent time with people who wound up on the wrong side of the law. I am under no illusion that my father might not have spent some time on the wrong side of the law himself. When I would ask him questions about things, he knew a little too much about crime, not to be someone that was intimately familiar with crime. Now, I'm not calling my dad a criminal. I'm saying he knew criminal type stuff. Now, if we are honest, we all have some criminals in our family, so, y'all can sit there and be holy if you want to. I'm owning mine, okay? My point is, my father found a way out. He fought his way out. He built a business which allowed him to rise above the breach. But my mother grew up in a breach as well. Her breach was different. She grew up in rural Louisiana, in one of the smallest, poorest parishes and towns in all of Louisiana. She grew up in a place where the midnight marauders, known as the Ku Klux Klan, were frequent. They came, and their purpose was to make sure that black families didn't dream in color, that they didn't believe that they could live lives free of terror. My mother grew up in a place where her family was together, but they understood that salvation was going to come from getting out of that breach, because no one should live their life in a breach filled with terror. So when I talk about breaches using the word our, it's because that is my legacy. That is my family story. My parents believed that we could do something different. So they challenged me. They challenged me to be someone who rose above the breach, who did something about the breach, to be someone who would dedicate his life to helping others spend as little time as possible in that breach. And that is what we do here at Paul Quinn College. Our school came from the breach. We were founded in 1872. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to remember what it meant to be an institution born in 1872. It meant that you came from slavery, that you came from the memory of slavery, that your students were going to be people who more than likely at that stage had been slaves, that the next generation of your students were going to be people who were the progeny of slaves, that we were going to be an institution that was dedicated to repairing the breach. This is who we are. This is what we stand for. And it is important because in life, you're going to face many, many challenges. And in those challenges, you will have decisions to make. You will either be someone who contributes to the breach, or you will be someone who lifts others out of the breach. You did not come to us expecting to be people who contribute to the breach. That is not what we do. That is not our dream for you, and it cannot be your dream for yourself. We are people who look at the problems that others pass by and we solve them. That is our challenge to each of us and to you. Now, if you are going to repair the breach, then we have to deal with the breaches within ourselves first, because we all have them. So in telling you how to repair the breach overall, let's start with repairing the breaches within ourselves. The first breach that we must repair is our own breaches. And let me tell you what I mean by that. All of us carry scars from the lives that we have lived. Every single one. None of us have lived a life free of trauma. But we have a choice to make. We are either going to be defined by our trauma, we're going to be limited by our trauma, or we are going to face our trauma head on and fight it and get to the other side. There is no part about facing your trauma that is supposed to be easy. There's no part about facing your trauma where you will stand up and say, oh, this is just something I need to do and it's going to be easy and I'll get to the other side. No, you will most likely have to fight your way through your trauma. But you aren't fighting alone. Closed mouths don't get fed. We tell you that all the time. Hold on a second. Sarai. Hey, come here. Come here. Come on. I'm tired of you yawning at me. Sit right here. So at least you can yawn at them. Okay? It's okay. You know, it's still cool. Don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me hanging. Thank you. So this is an important lesson to learn. People can always see you. They see you. And when the person on the mic sees you, they might decide to have a little special conversation with you. So be cognizant of what it is you are doing at all times. Now, I'll let y'all number one go by. I'll let y'all number two go by. By the time we got to yawn number 4, I was getting in my feelings. So I decided to share the yawn experience with all of you. All right? So now, Rev, if she starts to yawn, I want you just to say, help her, Jesus. Okay? All right? Let's practice it. Go ahead. We'll practice yawn. All right, well, look, I'll do it for her. Oh, now, boy, you know you got better than that. Let's try it again. There we go. All right. Okay, are we all good now? Are we all good? All right, good? No, you can't go sit back down. Maybe in yawn 1, you could have sat back down. Maybe even yawn 2, but now you're gonna keep my seat warm. All right? You did this to you. You did this to you. But we still cool. You know that. You know I still got you. I'm still gonna make sure your grade gets changed, right? You didn't change anything like that. Right? We're still good. You still gonna leave me hanging? Thank you. All right. We are building bridges. All right. We are building bridges. Now, where was I? Oh, you don't know because you were sleeping. All right. But I was talking about healing the breach within ourselves. All right. We must face our demons. We must face them with courage and with an understanding that we aren't facing them alone. We are facing them with a nation, the Quinnite nation. You are facing them with a family that loves you and wants you to be great. That should give you more than enough strength to muster the courage to face that demon. Because we cannot lift others out of the breach if we aren't dealing with the breaches within ourselves. And we have all had them. We all have had moments where we have stumbled. We all have had moments where we have failed. But whether or not you become a failure or someone who just stumbled is what you do next. And next must be the confidence to get up and keep fighting. So the first breach that we must address is the breach within ourselves. The second breach that we must address is our families. We must heal the breach that comes from our families. Maybe you got lucky. Maybe you grew up in a family where everything was perfect. Both your parents were there your entire childhood. Maybe you had dinners together the whole time. Maybe that was your experience. But for the overwhelming majority of us, that wasn't our experience. So we have trauma that comes from our families. And some of us have been raised to believe that, maybe being married and creating a stable family unit isn't that big of a deal. I'm not going to tell you that great things can't come from single-parent homes. Because my father, as I told you, came from a single-parent home. Many of you have come from single-parent homes. What I am going to tell you is the odds favor coming from a two-parent home. And here's what I mean by that. Do you know that the overwhelming majority of kids who are in poverty in the black community are coming from single-parent homes? Let's talk about what poverty means. Poverty means that your family makes less than $40,000 a year, most likely. If you have 2, 3, 4 kids in your family, it gets adjusted upward, but chances are it's not more than $50,000 a year for multiple kids. We cannot continue to leave our families in poverty and struggle. It's just numbers. If you have 2 people in the home and 2 incomes, that creates a much easier path. It's just that simple. So my point to you is that to repair the breach, you have to repair your own understanding of what it means to have a family. Stop picking people that you want to have babies with. Pick people you want to have lives with. And it is a difference, right? Why do we think it's okay to look at somebody and say, I want to have a baby with you, but we don't think it's okay to look at somebody and say, I want to marry you? Now, let's be clear. I get it. But I'm telling you now, we can be better than that. We must be better than that. We are going to be better than that. We are focusing on assets instead of attributes. Let me say that again. We are focusing on assets instead of attributes. Assets help you wind up with baby mamas. Attributes help you wind up with families. There is a difference. There will be seasons to your lives. Do not take the negative moments from one season and take it into the next. Or to say it a little bit differently, everything that is good to you is not good for you. It is not lost on me that the sisters like this message, but the brothers are sitting here looking at me with evil in their eyes. No, nice try, Robert. You've been mugging me the whole time, right? get to decide. You get to decide the life, not only that you are going to have, but the lives you're going to create. Don't pass your generational curse on to the next generation. It's not right. It's not fair. It's not leaving a place better than you found. And that is fundamental to the Quinnite nation. We cannot be repairers of the breach by continuing to pass the breaches along. That's not what we're going to do. Now, the third way that we repair a breach is really quite simple, and that is repairing the breach of hope. We don't dream big enough. One of the reasons why we have the Quinnite introduction is because we want you time after time after time again to stand up in front of people and give voice to your dreams. And there is something about talking about your dream that allows you to begin to become self-critical of your dream, to constantly evaluate your dream. We get teased, or I get teased, about the fact that when you tell me you want to be a teacher, I want to know why you don't want to be a superintendent. If you tell me you want to be a nurse, I want to know why you don't want to be a doctor. It's not because I think your starting point for a dream wasn't good enough. It's because you're going to evolve. And as you evolve, your dream will evolve. So yes, you may want to be a teacher because you've had an amazing teacher who changed your life. But imagine what happens if you're a superintendent of schools and you change every kid's life. Not just the ones that come through your classroom, the ones that come through everyone's classroom. Imagine what happens if you tell me you want to be a nurse. And that is amazing. I am so thankful for all the wonderful nurses that I've had in my life. But if you're a nurse and you could be a doctor, and the reason you are a nurse is because no one told you you could be a doctor, well then we've got to examine that. And we have to challenge that. You want to be a police officer? Love police officers, but I think you should be chief of police. You want to be involved in the law? Fantastic. I think you should be a judge. Whatever it is, thank you, Judge Lander. Whatever it is, I think we should continuously reach for more. Doesn't mean what you came with wasn't good enough. It means that we're acknowledging that who you're going to be at the end of 4 years, or 2 years, or some of y'all stay for 6. Whatever it is, whoever you are at the end of that period is going to be something more. And we should acknowledge that and make room for it. So, let me wrap this up by saying, you're going to be repairers of the breach. You're going to be revolutionaries. You're going to be people who do things that other people could not do and could not dream of. We're going to speak it into existence. We're going to challenge you. We're going to put our arms around you, and we're going to love you. When you do right, we're going to praise you for doing right. When you do wrong, we're going to help you. Because who you are today will not always be who you are. And we recognize that. But to repair the breach, you must become people who deal with the breaches within yourselves, the breaches within your family, and the breaches of hope that exist within your lives. Now, I am so honored to be your college president. I will be here to help you every step of the way. All of us will be. How much help you receive strictly dependent upon how much help you ask for. Closed mouths don't get fed. If you wind up someplace angry with Paul Quinn, ask yourself, did you tell us what the problem was? Did you tell us what the problem was? Or did you ask us to co-sign nonsense? Because we won't co-sign nonsense. But we will fight for you each step of the way. So, welcome to the 2023-24 school year. Welcome to Paul Quinn College. Welcome to accepting the challenge of being repairers of the breach. And thank you for everything that we're going to do together. You want to come and say something? Yeah, come on.
Hi, my name is Soraya Boykin-Connerly. I'm from Seattle, Washington, and my dream is to be a financial advisor. I just want everybody to have a great school year, and just remember that we're here for a reason, and two things. We should definitely join gospel choir. And vote for me for Miss Paul Quinn.
Oh, nice try, nice try. You can sit right there next to Lola, all right? Now, let me just say, that was a genius use of her moment, all right? She left you with something that she wanted you to remember. Namely, vote for her for Miss Paul Quinn. She has just announced her candidacy. Clever, bold move, okay? This is actually really impressive. Very impressive. Let's give her one more round of applause. All right. Dr. Grant?
Seattleites, I tell you.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, and deliver us from evil.